Hey yo, we back at it again. Ray's podcast, live from the 9th floor, beautiful Hello Studios in downtown Dallas. You know it's your boy Ray. Thank you for tuning in again with us. Make sure you like and subscribe and following all of our social media platforms. You know, help your boy, help me, help you. You know what I'm saying? Happy Women's Month. Today specifically is actually International Women's Day. So shout out to all the boss ladies out there, all the ladies doing things out there. We salute you, not you scallywags. We're not gonna give y'all any attention. I'm joking. So appreciate y'all tuning in. We got a great episode planned for y'all. Talk to y'all about that in a moment, but this is the part of the show where we have to like uplift people's spirits. So if you're having a rough day, rough week, rough month, this is the time of the show. I want to reset that, help you get your swagger back, get that confidence back. All right. So get your Birdman hands together, rub them together. If you're in the mirror, you can look at yourself, tell yourself, and I like to say this too, because just in case no one told you today, just know that you're beautiful, you're loved, you're needed, you're alive for a reason. Hey, you're stronger than you think. Hey, you're going to get through this. See, on my show, Ray's podcast, I'm glad you're alive and don't give up. So when you have words like that in your mind, when hard situations come, it's easier to get through those situations when you already have those, those words in your mind. All right, cool. All right, let's get on to the show now. All right. So today we got a dope guest in the building. We got a fly girl in the building. Y'all may even see her on the sidelines at the Mavs games, your local sporting events here in the DF Dub. Give her a warm Ray's podcast welcome to Raya Turner. What's up? How we doing?
I am great.
You great?
Thank you so much for having me today.
Appreciate you. Thank you for pulling up to Ray's podcast. How's your day been going?
It's been going really well. It's a little gloomy out today. Wish it wasn't, but
it's that bipolar Texas weather. You never know what you're gonna get.
Never.
If you're not happy with it, wait 5 minutes. It's gonna be something different.
Or you'll be sweating, just like hot out of nowhere. It was 50 degrees this morning, maybe 80 by noon, 3 p.m. You never know.
You never know what you're gonna get. Hell, we may get ice tomorrow. Well,
you know what? Let's not jinx that.
Let's not say that. I'm not gonna say that. We can't do that because when we get ice here, everything shuts down. Like everything, you ain't getting nothing. Shout out to Marco's Pizza. You're the only thing that was open in my neighborhood when we had the last ice storm a couple of weeks ago. I appreciate you, Marco's. All right, so let's hop into it. So welcome to the show. First of all, let's hop right into this. So I want you to take me on a journey. All right. Mm-hmm. Into becoming a sports reporter.
Right.
When did you know you wanted to be a sports reporter?
So I think I always had a passion for sports ever since I was a little girl. Grew up around it. My brother played basketball, and I've always been around sports, but I think when it came to me wanting to be a sports reporter, I think it was about my sophomore year of college. There were some other majors in college that I was trying to see if maybe that was my field. I originally actually wanted to be a meteorologist. Believe it or not, I was trying to tell the weather. But I am not a math and science girl, and if you know anything when it comes to college and those classes, those were not for me. And so it was actually in my sophomore year where I went to my guidance counselor, and they were like, maybe you would be really good at communications with journalism. And I kind of just woke up and I was like, I think I want to do sports. Like, I want to do a journalism career, sports. I think that's what I want to do.
Okay. So what college did you go to? I just mentioned you say you went to college. What college did you go to?
I went to University of Alabama. Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide.
We're going to move on amicably right now, okay? That's what we're going to do on this show, okay? All right. No, real question here for you, all right? Mm-hmm. So I mentioned at the beginning of the show that it's Women's History Month.
Right.
All right. What women or a woman have inspired you, especially in the field you're in right now?
So I am a big fan of Erin Andrews and Laura Rutledge. Those are like my two icons. Starting out, like just getting into the industry, they have just been like big role models for me, especially Laura Rutledge. If you know anything about my history, I am a former cheerleader, NBA dancer, and then transforming into sports was, a whole nother transition. And she used to be Miss Florida. So she kind of the same type of like glamorous style role transforming into sports and ESPN. So I really just used her as a model to look at because I feel like she has a really great attitude, and she was just somebody I like just looked at and I was like, I just want to be just like her.
Yeah, I am. You know, I think the whole thing with Erin Andrews, I think it got misunderstood. I don't think it was a whole big understanding. That's stupid. People,
Yeah.
you know, people are being dumb people, all right? So, you know, being a sports reporter, I got to ask you a question. How hard is it for you personally not to be biased towards certain teams or players?
Oh, that's my biggest struggle. And believe it or not, my first assignment, even being here in Dallas, was covering the Rose Bowl that was in December of 2020 with University of Alabama football against Notre Dame. My very first assignment. You could only imagine how hard it was to be not biased. But I tried my best. And I think that's really because they're like my main sports team. So I think that's the only one I struggle with on being like, oh, you know, who's going to blow them out the water? Well, obviously, in my opinion, I'm going to know. But it doesn't always happen like that, you know. But when it comes to, you know, professional, NFL, NBA, that I can stay pretty not biased about.
So did you have favorite sports teams or athletes growing up?
So growing up from Orange County, California, I live like 45 minutes away from LA. Definitely grew up a diehard Laker fan. My dad like worshipped them. So think always seeing Kobe Bryant, that was definitely like my model to always look up to, especially like I'm very big on like positive mindsets and everything like that. And he just embodied everything as far as like a male figure to just, you know, get positive affirmations from. I wouldn't say I really had a female one that I always just looked up to, shockingly. I'm not sure. Definitely with me now covering female sports, you know, I cover the WNBA, the Dallas Wings. Now, those are my girls. Let me tell you, those are my girls. I love covering them. I love getting to know them. They all have huge personalities, and yeah, those are my people.
Okay. So I want you to take me through the journey, okay? Because I know it wasn't probably an easy transition to get into sports reporting. You know, what were some difficulties and challenges and hurdles you had to get over getting to where you're at right now?
So I would say the biggest hurdle that I had to cross, definitely coming from NBA dancing, my hardest thing was not being taken seriously. For the longest, basically all of 2020, I spent a good portion of it really rebranding myself. And it's kind of sad to say that I had to do that, but in order for me to, in quotes, be taken seriously and not just be considered a dancer or a cheerleader or somebody that, you know, just is there to entertain people, in quotes, that was like a really big hurdle. Like I said, most of the time it was me rebranding social media. I even made my own YouTube account for going over sports, and in 2020 that was a little difficult because nothing was going on. But there was a lot to talk about, lots of updates and whatnot. But I feel like that's just where I took it really to social media, LinkedIn, growing, networking, talking to people. And finally, when I got word from my news station that I'm currently with that they were going to take me on, I was ready to go. That was going to be, he really essentially was throwing me in the fire because it was going to be some of my first major assignments. Like I said, my first assignment was the Rose Bowl, and that was wild.
Learning on the go, learning on your feet. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to test your little knowledge here, all right? See what you know, okay? Okay. You know, everybody know or watch Ray Ray's podcast, you know, I'm an MFFL, Mavs fan for life.
Mavs fan for life.
Had to ask you, what are your thoughts on the Kyrie trade and the current state of the team right now?
So, given last night's game, it actually looked really, really good. You know, Kyrie had a really clutch game, especially in that fourth quarter. We got to talk to him after in post game, and he was just like, you know, it was winning time in his head. And I think it's always winning time, you know, for when you talk to an athlete and they're like, oh, of course we want to win. But he really said that, you know, that was going to be the point to make sure that they won. I think they're just now, hopefully, fingers crossed, starting to get that flow going because, you know, especially when you go on Twitter and you hear commentators and whatnot, they're like, oh, they just need to find that rhythm. And for me, the way I was looking at it, I'm like, you know, we're good to almost the end of the season, but there's still a healthy chunk left. But I think now they're starting to really understand that flow. I hope it can keep going. That's my biggest one. I'm happy we had him. I felt like we needed him. You know, I guess we just have to see from here on out how it works. Based off last night, looks like we might be lucky. We'll see how they do tonight. They play the Pelicans, so.
Okay.
We'll see.
So if you were coaching the Mavs, you know, what tweaks would you make? You know, because, you know, recently, you know, we've had those issues closing out games. I don't know what it is. You know, we get those leads, we get up, those leads get blown.
Right.
We can't close out in clutch time. So if you could tweak anything right now for the Mavs, what would you tweak?
Ooh, what would I tweak? I think they need to play Christian Wood more. I think he needs way more playing time. I think all fans absolutely love him, and he obviously has shown himself to be a very powerful player. I would just give him more minutes. I don't know what.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what is going on, you know, between, I don't know, maybe coaches and them just not, like, they like him. But I don't know. But I would play Christian Wood more.
If I, on the outside looking in, if I can guess what it is, I feel like, as a coach, I feel like he doesn't have the best basketball IQ from their opinion. I've seen sometimes where he's been out of position, you know, defensively sometimes. Right. And then, you know, Jason Kidd, quote unquote, you know, defense. But
right.
We ain't seen a bunch of defense this year.
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of it is. I feel like, I mean, that guy, you know, he's still going out there. He's balling with the minutes he's given to him. It's just, you know, he started off the season. I thought he was on fire. I was like, okay, yo, re-sign this guy now. Like, when we made that trade, I was ecstatic. But it's just like, I don't know what is it. I know defensively that's not his game. But there was a stretch where he was blocked. He had blocks for days.
Right.
One stretch down the season. But hopefully we can get that figured out. Hopefully we can make this deep run in the playoffs. I need a championship. It's been too long. We got to get another championship back here in Dallas.
I hope so. That's the goal.
So if you you know, in your career right now as a reporter, you know, I always tell people on the show, like, it's good to set goals. Right. What goals do you have set for yourself? Like, what are your short-term goals and what are your long-term goals as far as this reporting?
So my long-term goals is my dream. So football is like my main, like, that's what I want to do. So I really, really want to do be on NFL Network. That is like the long-term dream. I also would not mind by any means getting to ESPN in Connecticut. That is the headquarters. The only thing is, it's cold up there. And I don't like the cold. I do not like it. But if I had to go there, you know, it would be for the dream.
Oh, yeah.
Short-term goals. Short-term goals would definitely be, so this year I, you know, really, really, really want to be able to cover some more Cowboys content if possible. You know, we have a lot going on at our news station that is, I think it's kind of everybody's very hot commodity. So I would say short-term goals is to get my hands on something NFL this year. You know, if it's not this year, you know, I already know it's in my future. I have that mindset, you know, I'll get there. But I feel like that's a short-term goal for me. And just be better as a reporter. Get more knowledgeable as possible. Get more you know, absorption of what I need to learn. I like to have a lot of mentors in the game, and I really respect constructive criticism and all that good stuff. So, yeah.
What do you feel right now is the percentage of women that are actually really in tune with sports and really actually, like, for sure follow it? Because sometimes I see some ladies like, okay, I think you just liked it because your man likes it. Or how many women you think are really, 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 like, can tell you, like, okay, this is what needs to happen, this is what happened, like, this breakdown. Like, I see that when I see a woman talk about sports, I just like, yo, let's go. Like, talk to me. Like, yeah, what do you think the percentage is of women that are really in tune with sports?
So believe it or not, I actually think that there is a lot of us, especially the more college graduates that I see, and so many girls that are doing internships, huge internships that I didn't even get to do in college because I was a cheerleader at Alabama. So I didn't get to do as much as I really wanted to. But seeing the amount of women that come from college and are, you know, already doing internships at ESPN, Fox, it's definitely more than you think. And that's very funny. I get a lot of men that ask me, do you actually like sports, or was that like your assignment? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, that's my passion. But I forget that it's not very common. But the more time goes on, the more years go on, I see a huge growth in women just having such a passion for sports. So,
okay,
great to see.
So, quick question: How did you get from the OC to Bama? Because I feel like that's a big trend. How'd you get from the OC to Bama?
So I actually had a dance scholarship. Well, cheer, whatever you want to call me. I was a cheerleader at Bama, but I was a dancer. I had a scholarship, but in order for me to receive that scholarship, I had to go try out like everybody else. And I kind of just knew that it was a big school, obviously with sports and their communications program. Just everything that I really wanted to do was going to be at that school. I felt like it best suited me, and I went and auditioned, made the team, got out for my scholarship, and like that was that. Then I was going full throttle.
I can't. Bama just.
You said what?
I can't get past the Bama part. This is hard for me to get past.
I know.
I got trust issues with you now. I don't know if I can trust you now. I'm joking.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But no, yes. And everyone is always like, why Bama? And I, for some reason,
I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah,
it's the mecca of college football.
100%.
The biggest sport in the world. I feel like it's our football.
You're right.
Well, people say soccer is the biggest sport, but for us here in America,
in theory, yeah,
the biggest sport is by far football. So all eyes are on Bama. So I get it. All right. So this is the part of the show. Like, we like to loosen up, have a little fun. Everybody watch the show. It's your first time watching the show. This is Slow Down. I just want to get to know you. Slow down. We just want to get to know you. This is where I kind of ask you some questions off the rip. We don't. Where we're gonna go? We're just gonna get there. Also, I have to mention that Slow Down is brought to you by Lyrically Correct. It's the lyric card game. If you feel like you're lyrically correct, go to lyricallycorrect.com. Type in promo code Ray H23. We had to swap the promo code up. Shopify was giving us issues. So new promo code is RAYH23 to get the 20% off all the Lyrically Correct games. Speaking of Lyrically Correct, go see Raya on Lyrically Correct. See how she did. Let's see what she did on it. All right. All right. So, all right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh boy.
So first off, I want you to shout out all the places you want people to follow you on social media.
All right. I need you to follow my Instagram. That is Raya Girl, GURL, RAYAGURL. My Twitter is the same exact thing, except add the number 77. That is my lucky number 7. But yeah, those are the ones you guys should follow.
Okay.
Pretty active on there.
Now, this question I feel like I already know the answer to. Have you ever had a nickname growing up? Because I feel like I know this already.
So yes, first I should say, so my real name is actually Maria. So growing up, before everyone called me Raya or Ray, whatever a lot of the time people also used to call me Mo, because short for Mariah.
Okay.
So Mo was definitely a big one when I was a little kid. As I got older, a lot of people just started calling me Raya, and I was like, okay, but we're just going with it.
Okay. All right. So if you had a warning label on you, what would it say?
Oh boy. A warning label?
If there was a warning label on you, what would that warning label say?
Loves to eat. For sure. Like, I am a big foodie. So wherever I go, I'm always probably going to say I'm hungry or I need a snack. So, big foodie.
Okay. Best advice you would give to your younger self?
Man, best advice. Keep going. Don't let any negative thoughts get to you. There was so much time that I spent like worrying on what was going to happen next, how I was going to get to where you were. You really just get to where you were. So just keep going.
Mm-hmm. If you could time travel to any part of time, what part of time would you travel to?
Ooh. I think I would go to the 90s. 100%.
Everyone says that.
I would.
That is the number one answer on this show.
I was born in 1995, so I didn't really get to get that early 90s feel, and it just seemed like a really iconic time. Like, me being like 5 years old until 2000, it's like I just feel like I missed a pivotal part of just the 90s. So
Okay. Here's a really important question.
okay.
What makes you feel like your best self?
What makes me feel like my best self? This is going to sound so funny. So I am very big on positive affirmations, especially in the morning. And if anyone knows me, they know I love my coffee in the morning. And I kid you not, I am a very unhappy, just grumpy person. If I don't have my coffee, my best part of my day, or I start off happy, is with my cup of coffee. So, and my mugs say like positive affirmations on them. So I would say that actually, like, to start off my day, that's what makes me my best me. Or if I get to go to Starbucks, that's a great day. That's a great day when I get to go to Starbucks.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna put you on the spot now. All right. You know, we were talking about basketball. You know,
Right.
MFFL. You know, got it. Okay. So, if you could pick your all-time starting five, what would be in your lineup?
Ooh. Like, can I choose people from like
Any era.
from any era? I can
Any
just
era.
choose.
Your all-time starting five.
People are gonna come for me about this, but I'm using Kobe and LeBron on one team. They're gonna come for me about it.
Hey,
But
I
I'm
mean,
I'm using Kobe and LeBron. Oh, gosh, my goodness. This also might be controversial. I'm just taking shooters right now. John Morant. I gotta get. It's a bad thing to say at the moment. Hey. But no pun.
Shooters shoot.
No pun intended. No pun intended. But I'm also gonna take John Morant.
Oh my God.
But and then if I need, some big man, maybe I think I'm gonna go back to the OG too, Paul Gasol, who just went in and got his jersey retired. I'm gonna also use him. I need one more. Right?
Yeah.
I need one more.
You gotta get your big. I don't think you got your big yet.
I don't have my big yet.
No, you don't have your big.
I don't have him. Dang. I'm just gonna take one more shooter. I'm gonna take one more shooter. But of course I'm on the spot and I can't think of anything. Kyrie Irving. Why not? We're just gonna take him. That's gonna be my five.
So you got a small ball lineup here, okay?
Right.
So I'm gonna break down the holes of your game here real
Here we
quick.
go.
This
Go
lineup,
ahead.
all
Go
right?
ahead.
So you got John Morant. Okay.
Solid.
All right. Kobe, Mamba mentality. I can't say no fall in that.
Love that.
You got LeBron. Yeah. Whatever, LeBron. Yeah. You got Powell. Great shooter. No defense. What if you get a big down there that's really just bang on him? Not gonna do that.
Man,
then you got Kyrie. So your big is Paul.
Let's see. We can send Kobe and LeBron because they think they're superheroes. So you know what? We're gonna send both of them to make the defense happen. That's what I'm gonna say.
Me personally, I thought you was gonna say Shaq Diesel. I thought you was gonna say the big man.
I could have used Shaq, but see, I feel like there would. Yeah, I could have used Shaq.
That's what I was waiting for you to say. Like, yeah, she gotta say Shaq. She from the OC. You gotta say Shaq, right?
I could have said Shaq. Like I said, on
I
the
was
spot.
far-
It wasn't going.
So
through.
you okay? It's gonna be. You got a lot of. It's a very small lineup, but hey, that's your all-time starting five. Hey, nothing on that. All right, greatest athlete to come out of Alabama.
Ooh, greatest? Man. I'm going to say one of them. At least right. Yeah, I'm going to say Derrick Henry. Julio Jones.
That is a good answer.
Yeah.
Those are both good answers.
I'm going to take two. I'm going to take those
Okay,
two.
that is very acceptable. They saying Derrick Henry may be on the trade block. Who knows?
Who knows?
There's something.
That man, wherever he goes, I kind of just feel like he's gonna just.
Could you imagine him on Buffalo or Kansas City? Game over.
Yeah,
Game over.
He just knocks people down. He just touches them, down.
But it was funny. Like I thought Derrick Henry was gonna be a bust
Really?
early in his career. Like, who was the other little small back they had in Tennessee? I want to say it was like Deion Lewis or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting majority of the reps, but then later on, Derrick Henry something just clicked.
Yeah,
and
100%.
he just became dominant.
Right.
I mean, dominant. So we'll see what happens. Free agency starts next week, so
Yes.
we'll see
That's gonna be
We'll see what's
crazy.
going to be on the move. All right. So I always like to end each interview with these two questions. All right.
Mm-hmm.
First one: if you can give any advice, no matter what it is, to anyone, what would it be? And secondly, what do you want people to take away from this podcast you did with me today?
If I can give any advice to anybody that has big dreams, wants to do whatever, you're going to get a million no's. And trust me, I know, and it's all going to feel like a stab to the heart, but it only takes one yes, just one, for you to get to the next step. And after that one yes, there are so many doors that just keep opening and opening and opening. And you just have to keep a positive mindset. Every single day, you're going to have a new goal and a new level that you're going to want to reach. And so you just have to just keep going. Do not let all of the no's that you will hear discourage you. Even if you're broke, you're down, you know, you need money. Like, the richest people, the most famous people now, even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you know, he said he had $10 to his name, and now he's the number one paid actor in the world, and now he's him, and everyone loves him, and you know, and even then, he still didn't get to make his dream come true, but he's also changing lives here for football players right now. Yeah. So I think that's a really just a big message is to anybody to look up to is just keep going every single day, no matter how many no's you get. And then what do I want people to take away from this podcast? Oh, I guess, you know, if I can be of advice to anybody, like I said, as I've said many times on this podcast, I'm very big on positive affirmations, positive mindset. And I hope that I can make everybody smile and take away from, you know, if they're having a bad day, just to think about something good that is going on in your life, whether that's you have a roof on your head, you have gas in your car, you have food in your stomach, anything like that. You know, there's always somebody that may not have that. So take that. If you're ever having a bad day, just think of something positive.
Facts, bro. She came in here. She came up in the layup. You know, Kyrie-esque layup here. She came in here, bro, to the paint. I appreciate you for taking your time out.
No problem.
Come in and rock with us today. Greatly appreciate that. Again, make sure y'all go check her out on Lyrically Correct. You know, check her out as you know, on the news, you know what I'm saying? Reporting on the sideline, microphone in hand. Boom.
All the above.
All the above. Yeah, make sure you follow her. She's such a fun person. It was a great interview, man. I had a good time doing this. You know, make sure y'all like and subscribe and following all those channels there. And, you know, I always like to end off with positive words. I start off with positive words and I end off with positive words, all right? So you know what to say to yourself. So look yourself in the mirror, tell yourself, I will boss up physically. I will boss up mentally. I will boss up spiritually. And I will boss up financially. Invest in yourself. This is your boy Ray. Ray's podcast. We out.
Hey, get money all day, get money all night. Sip my drink home, let's get right. Getting paid, I'm getting paid. Roll one up, let's. Hey, get money all day, get money all night. Sip my drink home, let's get right. Getting paid.